Yo, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, freedom marchers, freedom lovers, freedom family, freedom fighters. Snapzilla Gorilla is here. Welcome to Freedom's March, where every day we take one step closer toward freedom. That's what we do. Now, on that road to freedom, before you take the first step, there's something you must do first. Decide. Salute to you. Good morning. The first thing you must do before you even take the first step towards freedom is come to an understanding that you're in chains. Once you realize that you're in chains, well, then you can learn and decipher and determine how you're going to break those chains. And that is something that must be understood, because a lot of people that are in chains don't even realize it. A lot of people that are slaves don't realize it, right? But the people that do realize that you're in chains are the people in power that give you the impression that you are free. Well, I'm here to tell you that freedom is unadulterated. All right. So therefore, you have to realize that you're not free. You understand what I'm talking about? Steph Brown, good morning. Salute to you, brother. Yes, please hit the like button. So, in this morning's paper, we're going to talk about what I've said multiple times during my live streams discussing Israel. And it's in the last sentence of the title. It's about conquest. We're going to talk about the conquest aspirations of Benjamin Nosferatu. Okay? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how he doesn't care about them damn hostages that Hamas has. He doesn't really care at all whatsoever. Now, there was another attempt at a ceasefire recently that basically amounted to nothing, which would involve freeing of hostages. But Benjamin Nosferatu is not interested in freeing the hostages, especially if he has to give up any idea or any machinations towards taking over the Gaza Strip. That is what he really wants. The only way that he is going to agree to a ceasefire is if Hamas and Palestine give up and get out of the Gaza Strip. And once he gets what he wants, it's not going to stop there, because, Israel and Benjamin Nosferatu, they have what they consider to be many enemies all over the Middle East that they are going to attempt to eradicate. And there's nothing in their way right now, right? There's nothing in their way. There's nothing to stop them from doing what they want. They already tested the waters when they attacked Iran. Now, I don't know if you guys remember when they attacked Iran, Donald Trump gave the impression that he was upset. Remember that? Donald Trump was cussing and fuming. Well, actually, he was cussing and fuming after, they had agreed to a ceasefire, right? But of course, that was after he dropped 12 bombs on Iran himself, right? After he ordered the United States to drop all these bombs on Iran. But before that, Donald Trump was against initially the attack of Iran. And then he ended up attacking Iran himself. So we understand that what Israel had done attacking Iran was not an attempt to fully attack Iran, right? It wasn't. They were trying to see if they could get away with it, so that when they're really ready to do it, they can go ahead and get it cracking. Iran is the biggest obstacle of Israel's takeover of the Middle East. Once they have a foothold, and once they have control and imperialism over the entire Middle East, they're in a great position to exercise the level of power they want to exercise out in the open, because of the resources, because of the oil, because of all these things, right? Strategic positioning, all that. This is about Israel building an empire upon the world. It's about becoming the strongest superpower in the world, openly, right? It's about not having to hide behind and pull the strings behind the scenes. They're tired of doing that. They want to, they want to come out as a full breath of power. This is the reality of what's going on with Israel. Israel has no interest in ceasefires. They have no interest in releasing hostages. They don't give a hot damn about them hostages. They didn't give a hot damn about the October 7th attack in the first place, because the attack allowed them to use that, right? The attack allowed Israel to use it as a means to begin their conquest, right? Now, that's an actual quote. Benjamin Nosferatu said that he was going to go to the security cabinet of Israel and tell them that they need a full conquest of the Gaza Strip. And once they give him the go-ahead to move forward with this conquest, he is going to go back to them for more shit, because what is going to happen inevitably? Well, the attacks from other rebels and other resistance groups and other countries surrounding Israel and Palestine, they're going to continue attacks. Israel is going to continue to attack them. So what is going to happen is, look, we're under attack from all sides. We need to push further out. We need to go into Libya. We need not Libya. We need to go into Syria. We need to go into these other nations, and we need to go ahead and eradicate them as well, because they are a threat to the Israeli nation. Did someone say your name? Yes, I said your name, Benjamin Nosferatu. I typed your fake name, which is Benjamin Netanyahu. Your real name is Benjamin Nosferatu. That's your real name. Nice of you to join us. I'm pretty sure you're not the real Benjamin Nosferatu, but it's all good. It's all in fun. I understand what you're doing. Now, what does this have to do with anything? Well, do we understand that we are funding this conquest? Quasimodo predicted all this. Well, I predicted it when I said that Israel was going to try to expand expand territory and take over other countries. Now they want full conquest of the Gaza Strip. Absolutely. Now, Benjamin Nosferatu, listen, Benjamin Nosferatu has been in power for a very long time. But it's not just him, right? It's not just him, it's the United States. The United States is allowing all this. And they're using taxpayer money to give Israel resources to do what they're doing. They're taking your money, they're taking my money. Do you guys agree with this? If you are a United States citizen, if you're a United States so-called citizen, do you agree with what Israel's doing? If you don't agree, it doesn't matter because they're doing it anyway. See, this is what happens when you allow government to assume so much control, right? When you allow the government to assume so much control and to tax you and to extort you and to extort everyone else, and then what you get in return, what do you get in return for the taxation? The ability to vote. The ability to vote for other people to come in and use your tax money to do whatever they want. See, this is what's going on. You have no freedom to decide whether or not your money goes towards funding Israel. They don't give a hot damn, y'all. You know, there's a school. I didn't know this. Because see, when I went to school, lunch was free. Lunch was free. Public school. I went to public school. Lunch was free. Now, you have to pay for lunch. Why are we paying for lunch when we pay for schooling with taxes? I mean, lunch wasn't free. We just didn't have to pay extra money for it. You get what I'm saying? The money that they took and extorted from us in the form of taxes paid for those lunches, so you wouldn't have to pay again. You get what I'm saying? But now parents have to pay again for school lunches. What was it? But see, what are they feeding your children when they go to school that you have to pay for? So either you're paying out of your own pocket for them to go to school and eat whatever they decide to feed your children, or you have to send them with their own lunch that you still have to pay for it. See, this is how this shit works. From the smallest scale all the way down to the local, right? When it comes to schooling. And all the way up to funding Israel, funding Israeli conquest. That's what we're doing. Oh, and listen, Benjamin Nosferatu, man, he's sitting pretty right now. He's sitting pretty because no one can hold him accountable. He doesn't even have to use his people's money to fund this war. He has to use our money. He doesn't have to use his people's money to pay for their free health care and their free schooling and the lack of homelessness. He uses our money for that. We fund that. Yeah, we fund that. We give him that money. And he takes that money as well and he fights in this war. So we give him extra money. Because now he has a conquest to complete. He has to complete his conquest. Like some damn Bond villain. He has a conquest. He's using taxpayer money. He's using his people's money. But, you know, less so, right? His people benefit more. The people of Israel benefit more from our taxpayer money than we do. I gotta pay for my kids' school lunch if I want to send them to school. You think they had to pay for school lunch over in Israel? Absolutely not. No, they don't. They get free school. They get free lunch. They get free health care. Right? All this shit is free, right? They get free war. They get free conquest. They get free weapons. They get free iron curtains or whatever the hell you call it. Iron shield, iron dome. All that shit comes from us. All that shit comes from us. So they can continue the further destabilization of the Middle East. Because obviously they think that these Arab nations are a bunch of punks. That they can just do whatever they want with them, right? That's the idea. The idea is that, look, man, I mean, we are the mightiest nation in the Middle East. We're Israel. But they're only the mightiest nation because they're backed by the United States. And other nations, of course. Not just the United States, but we are their biggest backer. We are their biggest funder. But they get to take our money and go out and kill a bunch of kids, kill a bunch of people trying to get food, disrupting aid to these people, bombing schools that are sheltering women and children under the auspices of, oh, well, we was trying to get them combatants that are all up in that school getting treatment. You're not supposed to attack them when they're getting treatment. You're not supposed to attack enemy combatants when they are wounded and they are being under treatment. They're no longer combatants. Is this a Hamas fighter? No, I'm not a Hamas fighter. No, I'm not. Trump and Bibi are great leaders. Yeah, sure. Sure, they're great leaders. If you want to lead a bunch of people to slaughter, sure. If you want to lead our money from our pockets and into these warmongers and war criminals' pockets, because make no mistake, that's exactly what Benjamin Nosferatu is. He is a warmonger and a war criminal. And now he has a conquest. He has a conquest to get cracking. And no one's gonna hold him accountable. You know, you got these opinion pieces out there. You got some people that are pushing back, but I mean, at the end of the day, you know, what can we do? I'm talking about it. I'm shedding light on it. This is a reality. You guys can go look it up. They don't care about the damn hostages. They're beyond that now. They're past that. It's time to get a return on that investment, y'all. The bottom line is what they say Hamas did on October 7th just got them through the door. I don't know why this damn truck is in this fast lane. You know. Anyway, what happened on October 7th when they say that Hamas came through in parachutes and all this? Now, they knew they were coming. They knew the attack was going to happen. They had the intelligence. They had that. They knew, and they allowed it to happen because it was a perfect opportunity for them to use it to do what they wanted. Right? Just like 9/11. Just like 9/11 helped the United States start their campaign in the Middle East in 2000, in 2002, in 2003, when it began, when they actually started to invade. Just like the Gulf of Tonkin got us into the Vietnam War. Right? How did that end, by the way? Not very well for the United States. Not much came from it. You could say we lost that war. These motherfuckers. Fucking stupid ass clown hats. Anyway. You know, I mean, that's just the reality, right? Just like they shot her around the world. Just like Pearl Harbor. Now, I'm not going to say Pearl Harbor that they let that happen, right? But, you know, the intelligence apparatus back then was not as sophisticated as it was during Vietnam and as it was during 9/11. But I wouldn't put it past them to have some level of knowledge of it. But, you know, again, communication back then wasn't as rapid. It was, we didn't have this information super highway as we did now, as we do now. I mean, we did have some level of telecommunications. We had radio by that point. Radio was working out pretty good, two-way radio, but it just wasn't enough. I would say Pearl Harbor was probably the last legitimate attack on a nation such as the United States, where, you know, we had no knowledge of it. We didn't know it was going to happen. And if we did know it was going to happen, we could not scramble fast enough to prevent it. But beyond that, hey man, war is a highly profitable situation. Highly profitable for certain individuals. And what the end results of those wars, well, they can be of greater benefit. They can be of greater benefit. Like, well, with Israel and Hamas, right? It started with October 7th, but it's going to end with Israel occupying the Gaza Strip. That's worth more than those hostages, y'all. That's how these people think. Let me tell you something. That's how these people think. People like Benjamin Nosferatu, people like Donald Trump, people like Barack Obama and Joe Biden, George Bush. It's not even really them, really, right? It's the warmongers and the war chiefs that push for this toward them. That's really what it's about. It's the people behind the scenes. It's the military advisors. It's the bankers. People like that. What did Maline Albbright say? She was in during the Clinton administration, right? When they were over in the Middle East the first time, and they were talking about how 500,000 children perished during that war, right? During the conflict. Maline Albbright, I think she was a defense, no, she wasn't defense, she was the Secretary of State, something like that. I forgot exactly what her title was. But she was involved heavily in those operations and making sure it happened. Maline Albbright, what did she say on 60 Minutes? She said the deaths of those 500 children were worth it. They were worth it for what they were able to gain from those deaths and from what the occupation within the Middle East and what they did there. It was worth it. Those 500,000 deaths were worth it. Look it up, Maline Albbright. But see, this is how they all think. Maline Albbright is not special. The U.S. military might. U.S. military might is one of the many important things, or one of the few important things that keeps the United States in power, right? Military might, the technology advancement. The technology advancement, the intelligence apparatus, the assets that we have all over the world that give us information, that allow us to see attacks coming from a mile away, not even a mile away, 3,000 miles away. How many attacks have the United States prevented? The United States intelligence apparatus. See, because there are many attacks that are planned against the United States that they are able to stop. They stop those, right? They can't allow all of them to come through. No, they gotta allow. It has to be orchestrated in the perfect way. It has to bring about what they want. It's the same thing with Israel. Israel has access to that same intelligence apparatus. And that intelligence apparatus gave them the heads up about the October 7th attack. They knew that it was going to happen. Now, they might have even helped orchestrate it. Y'all remember when, let me give you an example. It's kind of like when Gresa Whitmer, remember they planned that attack against Gresa Whitmer? They were like, was it 10 guys or 15 guys? Right? They were planning to kidnap Gresa Whitmer. But it only resulted in the arrest of two of those guys. Everyone else were informants or FBI agents. 2 guys out of the 10 to 15 people were arrested. They didn't even plan the shit. They were convinced by it's entrapment, y'all. That's a lot of that happens. That happens a lot, not just within the country, outside the country. There are what they call them is agent provocateurs. This is something that we have to understand. The United States government employs agent provocateurs all over the world, and all over the country, all over the world. In the United States, they call it COINTELPRO, right? They call it COINTELPRO. What they did with those gentlemen in Michigan that, you know, they say planned to kidnap Gresa Whitmer, that was COINTELPRO at its finest, y'all. But see, the guys they arrested didn't even plan the attack. What happened was, see, this is what you got to be very careful, right? When you are on social media and you're talking about a particular what is a particular? What is that a word? Anyway, if you're talking about a particular politician or a particular government official or a particular actor, and you know it raises red flags to these people, you might just be like frustrated with them, and you might say something silly, right? Like, oh, I wish this politician would die, or you might say some crazy shit like that, right? Well, they'll send people your way. They'll test you. They'll say, let me see if this motherfucker really would do something to this politician. They'll send people your way. So it's not like they don't just send people to random people. It's not arbitrary to a degree. No, if you give them the impression that you're willing to do something like that, they will send somebody your way, or they will enlist or recruit one of your friends, pay them some bread, you know what I'm saying, and convince you to plan some stupid shit. That's what happened with Gresa Whitmer. This is what happens all over the world. Unfortunately, this is what they do. They send agent provocateurs. You know, see, they a lot of it might not even be ordered by the handlers, right? So you got handlers, you got assets. The asset, they might want to curry favor with the handler. They might want to, you know, they want to get that money, right? They have to produce something. If you're not producing anything, you're not going to get the money. You're not going to get what you want from them, right? You got to produce something. So they might even start some shit themselves on their own. They might start a whole terrorist cell, set them up to be arrested just so they can get some bread, and the handlers wouldn't even know about it. This is what happens, man. It's human nature. Man, the pigs is out today, boy. I'm seeing all kind of popo on the radar. So this is what happens, man. It happens in the United States. It happens all over the world. You know, y'all remember the Proud Boys, how Enrico Iglesias, whatever his name is, the head Proud Boy, how he got arrested. Yeah, he got arrested, and they tried to sentence him to 20 years in prison because FBI agents were able to get him to say some stupid shit. Or, you know, this is what they do, man. This is what they do. Because they have an agenda. They don't care about the outcome. They care about the outcome. The outcome is all they care about. They don't care about the collateral damage and the residual effects. So this is what's happening in Israel. So now they're like, well, we ain't even got to pretend like we care about these damn hostages no more. I'm tired of this shit. I'm ready to take over the Gaza Strip, goddammit. I'm ready to strengthen my position. I'm ready to send a message throughout the world. And that message is this. This is the message from Israel. We can do what we want, and the United States, the most powerful nation in the world, will back us no matter what. I have the United States military apparatus and economic apparatus behind me. What the fuck is wrong with y'all, man? Yeah, it's all good. So, that's the message they're sending. So, why even care about the hostages anymore? Why even pretend? They had plenty of opportunity for ceasefires and to have released hostages, and they just didn't give a shit. They didn't care. They don't care about the damn hostages. All they care about is their conquest. Now, all I propose is that we change. Damn, don't be. Hold on, killer. Hold on, killer. Look at this motherfucker. Damn, this motherfucker swerving and curving. Look at this bitch. You see him? Well, you can't really see him because whatever reason my camera is, the front face of camera, I need to wipe it down. Anyway, there is a car carrier in front of me, swerving all over the place. See, this is why I don't tailgate. This is why I don't tailgate. This is why I'm like 5 car lengths behind this motherfucker. I don't tailgate. I mean, that's something that is notorious in the Southeast. In the Southeast, they tailgate like a motherfucker. Well, I tell you what, Bobby. Damn it, Bobby. Man, look at this dude. Is he drunk or something? The fuck? Now he's slowing down, see? I don't like this. I don't like this. But, like I said, y'all, we should care, right? We should care because, human life, right? The loss of human life for no goddamn reason. Using these hostages as pawns to begin their campaign, to begin their conquest, only to later on down the road finally admit that they don't really give a shit, in so many words. Now they're not saying, oh, we don't give a shit about these damn hostages, but they're basically saying we're not going to let these hostages stop us from our conquest to take over the Gaza Strip. So Hamas has no leverage. Shut up. Hamas has zero leverage. Yeah, I had to get around this cat. I had to get around them. Yeah, so Israel is now finally well on their way to getting what they want. And they'll get it. Trust me, y'all. They'll get the Gaza Strip, because who's going to stop them? Not that no one can. It's just who's going to stop them, with the United States firmly backing them and not holding them accountable. Not holding them accountable. You got groups out there, right? Social groups that'll call Israel out and talk all that shit. And they're not hitting y'all with the anti-Semitism stuff right now. Like, I'm surprised I've been able to talk this much and be this honest about Israel without getting strikes, without getting violated. You know what I'm saying? It's because at this point, it's like, so what? Right? The anti-Semitism this, anti-Semitism that, and on top of that, people ain't going for that shit no more. Right? They see what's going on. I think what was going on with this white dude. This white dude in Arkansas that's trying to start his own community of white folks. An all-white community, which I have no problem with. I have no problem with it. Go ahead. Go on ahead and start your own white community. Oh, the vest. Yeah, It's my West Slope vest. Yeah, it's, you know, I forgot to take it off when I got in the whip, but it's very comfortable. So, and you know, you got the pocket here, and you reach in there, and there's something in there. There's a very efficient tool inside this bag that you just bam, and you can just grab it, and then you can just pull it out and make magic happen, make pew pew happen, so to speak. Anyway, so I mean, yeah, there was a white guy. I forgot his name. I'll probably be talking about him tomorrow in tomorrow's morning paper. He wants to start an all-white community, which I have no problem with. Like, real talk. Let him. I mean, listen. People have the right to congregate. As a matter of fact, it's in the First Amendment, right? It's basically in the First Amendment. I have no problem with it. What I do have a problem with is the hypocrisy, because the folks, right, especially among the conservative base, the folks that really love this and really enjoy it and really want him to do this, has a problem with the black families in Georgia that are doing the same thing. Matter of fact, they were doing it first. They start, well, decades ago, you had Black Wall Street, you had Rosewood, you had, you had that town in Philly that the police bombed. But I'm saying, in recent times, there was a group of black families that bought up 90 acres of land in Georgia and decided to start their own community. And so many white folks and so many coons had a problem with it. But no, these same people don't have a problem with this white man starting their community in Arkansas, starting an all-white community. And I had no problem with it. Go on ahead with you. Go on ahead and start your all-white community. Hey, I have no problem with it. Anyway, nonetheless, go ahead and start your all-white community. Go on ahead with you. But the bottom line is, you know, he had detractors, of course, right? He had detractors, and one of them happened to was some Jewish group. I don't know if it was ADL or whatever. They had something to say about it, and no one really gave a shit. No one gave a shit because he didn't want small hats or Jews in his community. Like, I'm not even, I think he said something about the Jews. I don't really, you know, when guys like that, they start talking, it's like, they come from a place of delusion that makes it difficult to listen to it. And, you know, like I said, I have no problem with him starting his own community. It's just the justification and all just be honest about why you know it. Because you don't like black folks. You want pure white folks, and that's fine. Just be honest about it. I don't care. Start your own all-white community, and go ahead and produce you as many blonde-haired, blue-eyed motherfuckers as you so choose. I think the guy is of German descent, by the way. Now, you know, buy your land and have your white folks there. But look at here now. Don't start fucking with the wrong folks now, because this ain't the 40s and the 50s. You know, this ain't, you know, we ain't going into ice cream parlors begging for ice cream and letting y'all motherfuckers dumping on our heads. No, we will piece you the fuck up if you fuck with us. So go start your community. Just don't fuck with mine. But anyway, the small hats had a problem. Some Jewish lady was talking about it. No one really gave a shit. I mean, at this point in time, the wool has been pulled. The wool can't be pulled over our eyes at this point, and that's as it should be, because no one else gets so many accommodations and pandering as that community and the LMNOP community. They're like neck and neck with the amount of pandering they get. But at this point, it's like, okay, well, listen, and it's, you know, there are a lot of Jews in the United States that have a problem with what Israel's doing. They have a problem with what Benjamin Nosferatu is doing, because really, at the end of the day, it's the Israeli government, it's the Israeli defense forces that are committing these atrocities. They're committing these atrocities, just like when the United States goes out and they commit atrocities to other countries. They're doing it on our dime, and they're doing it, essentially, right? They're doing it with our money. They're taking our extortion funds and they're going and waging war and committing atrocities with our money. But at the end of the day, they're the ones doing it. Just like Israel, the Israeli government, and Benjamin Nosferatu and the security cabinet, the Israeli Defense Force. They're committing the atrocity. So, you know, when Vietnam was cracking, you know, it was our government. Our government was over there doing some bullshit. But you had a lot of American so-called citizens that had a problem with it and voiced their issues. And, you know, we had the draft. There was conscription going on, and people were dodging the draft and all this other stuff, including Muhammad Ali. And, you know, nonetheless, the government committed the atrocities, even though we didn't want them to. Many people voiced